Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going over a trade I took on Intel, ticker symbol INTC, using the opening range break strategy, and also highlighting the importance of understanding support and resistance levels within the orb. Now, I would recommend, if you're starting out, to have defined rules. And one of the rules for the opening range breakout is to not diddle in the middle. But as a discretionary trader and having some years under my belt, I've been able to incorporate my understanding and knowledge within the orb strategy. But if you're just beginning, really, I would not what they call diddle in the middle. But for this video, I'm just going to highlight why understanding strong support and resistance levels can help you overall as a trader. And so when we look at this chart on the 5-minute time frame, you see that I've created the box for the first 5-minute candle. It was very volatile. It's just basically wicks, a wick way down, a wick up, and like a big doji in the middle of 4608. Eventually it did break out, and the next candle tested the previous high, which is 4659, that was marked off as resistance. So that previous day's high was a resistance level that brought this back down into the middle of the range. But because I understood, and again, looking at support and resistance levels and technical analysis, that 45.50 was a very significant support level, as well as 45.28 and this other support level at 45. I knew that these would be potential areas in which buyers would be available to potentially put in bids. And even in this red dotted line, which is on the bigger time frame, the lower part of a channel of a bigger range, um, I knew that there would be potential buyers there. And you can see that when you look at this chart, because obviously in the first 5-minute candle, sellers brought the price down, but buyers quickly stepped in to bring the price up and even brought it all the way up to where it was on the previous day's high. But that resistance level is also where sellers were, which is why price took a big dip down. But again, revisiting this strong support zone, you could easily take in a trade here. And yes, it did chop around a little bit, but when you get confirmation, you get a touch, then a retest, and then you can see that buyers were stepping in. As you can see, a slight increase. It wasn't going down, but it was moving up. Sellers here were not stepping in, so you don't see a lot of selling. RSI started picking up, buyers started stepping in, and you see this wick candle once again bringing price up. Then it was a good opportunity to take a trade, a low risk trade, putting your stop right below that support level. And so taking this trade, you could target the top of this range onto the previous day's high and the next resistance level, again looking left. So if you're interested in how I was able to get these support and resistance levels here, like 46.89, the 46.50, and the 45.50, 45.25. You can watch my other technical analysis video where I go through basically marking off different support zones. But basically, you go to the left and you find more information that way. But again, this is a trade that is low risk because you have support areas to where you can put your stops. And if it breaks the support level, then it's invalidated. You could watch the trade and see if support holds at the next level, if it invalidates it or not. But it gives you an opportunity to get a good entry at a, a set risk and targets. You target resistance levels. You enter near support levels and put stops below support levels. This line right here, which I can turn into the color purple, like the movie, but is a downward line that I drew basically again on a bigger time frame. And you can see that there was some resistance because with the 200, but it was enough to break through it. Just things to consider. And again, knowing these different levels can help you with your trading just to have clearer and better entries and exits. So hopefully that helps you in your understanding of how to manage your trades, how to enter your trades, where to exit. Like here, you had multiple resistance level. It did break out, but it retested and failed and went back into previous support. And so that's just again a good indication and indicators of where you stand and where you should enter, where you should exit. Um, you see that the 200 moving average is here. Um, had a good reaction off of that, but again, resistance on this previous day's high. As the close of the market, this resistance was not able to be broken until after hours, where there's probably a bigger spread that created this move up, but it quickly failed and broke back down. So this trade was a good trade. Again, understanding the various levels of support and resistance, incorporating it into the opening range break strategy. This is a little more not, I won't say complicated, because again, if you're trading the opening range breakout, usually they say do not diddle in the middle. And if you were going to trade the opening range breakout, you would look for a break above this range, which it did. And you could enter. Some people just enter without a retest. Some wait for a retest. This one did not necessarily retest back to the top of the range, although it did have a pullback here. If you wanted to enter, you could have took the trade up, but you would have had some resistance there. So typically that's how you would trade the opening range breakout anytime it breaks out. But you can wait for a retest, but as you can see, this retest failed. And same here, you could have entered as soon as it broke out and continued to move up. It didn't retest, but I believe like knowing various support and resistance, understanding moving average as another support and resistance, um, then you can get a better picture view of what actually is happening with the price action. So technical analysis with some price action and some rules based on your strategy can give some confluence for you to have better trades. So hopefully that helps. You have a better perspective. If it did, please consider liking, subscribing, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, God bless.